Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I've got 3 stories to cover in this very latest Moon Lambo hot jam, including this one from Finance Feeds, titled "Never Mind the Ripple Lawsuit. Digivault becomes first accredited custodian to support XRP." Which is fascinating for a number of reasons. So the firm that they're talking about, they're actually part of a NASDAQ listed company. And why is this happening as the SEC is assaulting Ripple and XRP holders? Typically what we've seen over most of the last year is less adoption of XRP, at least from firms having anything to do with the United States. And here, we're seeing quite the opposite. Well, why is that? I got a couple thoughts on that. Also, there's a story that I covered the other day having to do with the SEC's renewed attack on Ripple's fair notice defense, which is a very important defense in the lawsuit. Well, attorney Jeremy Hogan has shared some thoughts, and I want to share with you his perspective on this. And for those of you that missed it, the other day, the SEC, they did file a new document to the court having to do with another case where they actually won on the SEC actually won on fair notice. But I pointed out that there were a number of differences between that case and this case, and I don't want to, just recreate the video that I already did. So I just wanted to set the table so that you know what we're talking about here. But I made the case that there are tremendous differences between that case where the SEC found success with the fair notice defense versus this Ripple case, and completely different honestly, they're in completely different aspects of the world of finance. You can think about, obviously, what it would mean to be in stocks versus crypto, and regulatory uncertainty in one and not the other. And the court case they were referencing, it did have to do with specifically penny stocks, right? So just not the same. And then last, I'm going to share this story, which is unrelated to anything having to do with XRP, which is why it'll be at the tail end of this video. It's just something I found interesting in the world of crypto. From Metro UK. Samsung announces a TV that lets you buy and display NFTs. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Shout out to XRP Crypto Wolf for sharing this story with me about this NASDAQ a firm that is adding support for XRP from custody. And here's an article from Yahoo too, titled "Crypto Custody Leader Digivault Achieves Double-Digit Growth as it Adds to its List of Capabilities." And check this out. Digivault, the digital asset custody business within Econex Limited, which is EQOS, that's their listing on NASDAQ. They achieved a 30-fold increase in assets under custody in the 2021 calendar year, reflecting the strong demand for accredited and regulated crypto industry service providers. The company now securely stores the assets of a growing list of customers, including sophisticated investors, family offices, fund managers, and also law enforcement agencies and governments through its strategic partnership with Asset Realty. And in December, it also added to its world-leading list of credentials with the addition of XRP to its assets under custody. Well, who would have thunk it? XRP is a digital asset that is native to the XRP ledger, an open-source, permissionless, and decentralized blockchain technology that can settle transactions in 3 to 5 seconds. Let's simply pause to note, it's so nice to see in a mainstream media, a news article, XRP accurately, sufficiently described. Ain't that damn well true? And then they wrote, Digivault developed the capabilities to support XRP in response to surging customer requests to provide custody for the digital asset. Folks, to be clear, XRP is not going away. You know what's going to go away? The SEC versus Ripple court case, that's going to go away. XRP is not going away, right? It just gets all that we're really seeing, and all we have seen over the last year, despite sometimes scary price action, what we've seen as far as it pertains to XRP and the XRP ledger is increased adoption. Hell, even Ripple's efforts have shown increased adoption. Fine in terms of on-demand liquidity, any endpoint, any corridor touching the United States obliterated because the SEC, at least for now, there's no endpoints touching the United States for now. But even then, there were multiple corridors opened up during 2021. And there are all sorts of other use cases for XRP, but I'm just saying this is increasing. What do you think is going to happen as soon as this case goes bye-bye? Let me just say I'm optimistic things will go well. And so, but how is it that any firm is feeling comfortable adding custody for XRP given what's going on? Well, consider the following. There are exchanges, even in the United States, that have halted trading of XRP, but they didn't actually require that you take your XRP off their platform. Case in point, Coinbase. Coinbase has continued to allow XRP to be held on its platform for at least two primary reasons, right? First of all, taking custody of an asset that the SEC claims is a security is very different than selling to customers an asset that the SEC claims is a security. So allowing an asset that is going to be a security, allowing that asset to be on the platform, very different than allowing it to be sold by your customers on your platform. Those are not the same thing. And so the Coinbase team recognized that XRP simply being held on their platform is a negligible legal risk, which is why they still allow it. Now, second, Coinbase is probably anticipating that XRP will have favorable legal clarity in the future, and once that happens, trading will likely quickly resume on Coinbase. And if holders of XRP already have their XRP on Coinbase, then they'll be positioned favorably, Coinbase will, to begin making money on the trades of their customers, XRP customers, pretty much immediately. It's not going to take a lot of effort to enable the trading of XRP again. It's just going to happen. It'll be lightning fast because Coinbase wants to make money on this, of course, and they'll be able to. I think they get that. If they thought this was gone forever, who knows? Maybe they wouldn't have bothered to allow a custody of XRP on the platform. It's not exactly a money maker, you know what I mean? For them anyway. That is, if anything, it's a value add. It's not their core business. Now for this firm, I don't know exactly what their fee structure is for custody and this and that. But that's not what Coinbase is doing to make money. That's just not their bread and butter, obviously. So, anyway, all that to say, I think that's a primary reason that this firm, they're not worried in the least about custodying XRP despite what's going on with the SEC versus Ripple case. All right, into the next topic now. The SEC citing to the court a victory in a separate court case where their arguments pertaining to fair notice won the day for them. Here's what attorney Jeremy Hogan had to say about this. A case came out last month that marginally helps the SEC's position in its motion to strike Ripple's fair notice defense, so the SEC filed it with the court. It was in a very different stage of litigation, and the standard is completely different than the SEC versus Ripple case. In the Fife case, and that's what it was the SEC versus Fife case, the defendant tried to argue fair notice in order to dismiss the lawsuit entirely and failed because the burden is very high on a party moving to strike a pleading. Fife can still raise it as an affirmative defense later, and I expect they will. Now, in the Ripple case, it's the SEC that is trying to strike the affirmative defense of fair notice, and it has the high burden to meet. The general idea is in modern courts is that the decision should be made after looking at the evidence unless there's no plausible way of winning. And so this is very different. Now, Ripple, they never did anything to try and have the entire case thrown out. I think they knew that the odds of that happening were about zero, and any attempt to have the entire case thrown out, it would have just been effectively resulting in a delay, and they just want this whole thing to be settled with finality. Whether that means an actual settlement or full adjudication, they just want it done as quickly as possible. That's Ripple's perspective, and so they never even bothered to try to have the whole freaking thing thrown out. And so it's just one of Ripple's affirmative defenses, the fair notice defense, which is separate. So that part is most certainly different and notably different. And then somebody named Andy shared a GIF with Steve Carell's character, Michael Scott from The Office. And the GIF says, which I paused the GIF, but it says, "Why don't you explain this to me like I'm 5?" And then Jeremy Hogan wrote the following, and I like this. "The SEC just poured orange juice on your hands and told you it handed you an orange." I thought that was pretty damn good. It's just, and again, I don't want to go through all of my thoughts that I shared in a video where I talked about this just yesterday, but it's just not the same damn thing, which is why this made me laugh so much. He's spot on. Again, I have no legal background, but I could tell immediately that there are striking differences between what was happening in that Fife case versus the SEC versus Ripple case. It just is not the same damn thing. And I have a hard time believing that the judge could look at this argument and think anything other than this is a stretch. In terms of defending the SEC's position in this case regarding fair notice, like, this is a stretch at best. That's what it looks like to me. Shout out to BondCrip XRP, who sent this next piece my way, having to do with Samsung televisions. I'm a Samsung television fan. I've got 3 Samsung TVs myself. Quality craftsmanship. But anyway, this piece is titled, "Samsung Announces a TV That Lets You Buy and Display NFTs." Samsung has announced a new feature in its latest TV sets that allows viewers to browse, purchase, and display their non-fungible tokens. 2021 was a big year for NFTs, and Samsung has decided to get ahead and capitalize on what is predicted to be a booming market with the world's first TV screen-based NFT explorer and marketplace aggregator. Samsung's new NFT aggregation platform will be available on its micro LED Neo QLED and the Frame models, allowing users to browse and buy NFTs directly from their TV screens. And I'm familiar with the Frame models. I don't own one, but it's an interesting concept. It's a TV where you can actually put a frame around it that looks like, like a painting, or just some sort of nice painting you actually frame and put in your home. But then it's a television, of course, so then you can just put up whatever you want, any sort of art, and you can change it all the time, or you can actually just watch TV on it. And so that seems like a model where you'd want to have the implementation of this software. I've just been curious, because NFTs, I don't think they're going away. There does seem to clearly be something to this. So NFTs here forever, as long as the internet exists. The question is there so many platforms where people are purchasing these NFTs? Like, what happens when most of these platforms go away permanently? Because I don't think in a mature marketplace you're going to have an infinite number practically of platforms where people can buy and sell NFTs. And if they're not interoperable, it's just going to be that much more certain that you're going to have 1, 2, 3 big victors if you fast forward a decade or whatever it is to have sufficient maturation of the asset class. And so that's why when it comes to NFTs, there's something to it. It's going to be here, but it's always seemed to me a bit intimidating to purchase any NFT if you're really thinking long term with this lack of clarity. And fine, you could say the same thing about crypto, I suppose, but just as far as cryptocurrencies in general, first of all, the market's moving in tandem. And so as long as it's doing that, I'm not intimidated, because the first time there's going to be an opportunity for a flushing of the system will be during a global downturn in the markets, which we haven't seen yet. And then, yes, I'll be reevaluating my positions if I haven't exited all of them. But things are even less sure about NFTs and how quickly that's necessarily going to evolve. Maybe it would also be during a bear market, you'd have a bunch of flushing. Now, maybe that's the case there too. But I don't know. I just wondered, because there are people that are really thinking long term, and I can appreciate the concept in general, but my gosh, there's just so many moving parts. Things are happening so quickly. It just makes you wonder which platforms are actually going to stick around. Like, the XRP ledger hasn't even really jumped in the fray at this point. Like, it's still technologically getting set up to do that. And it's certainly capable of it. You understand, obviously, it's got a built-in decentralized exchange, which makes it very well suited for this type of thing. But it's still, there are things going on in the background to tweak little bits here and there so that it would be sufficiently suited for this. So it's still early days, but I don't know. I'm sure there are all sorts of people out there listening that own NFTs. I'd be curious what everybody thinks. Like, what is your take on this? Because interoperability is going to be an issue. So for any platform that wins, okay, maybe your investment's going to do well for the long haul, but for for the platforms that go the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature, maybe a financially going to have a bad time. So, I don't know. You let me know what you think below, but I'll wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.